Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm just getting ready for the day and I thought I will do a first impression / tutorial. Now if you watched my last video, I was unboxing a lot of products that have come from India. So I'm going to use a mix of those for my makeup today. The light is very inconsistent, so please forgive me for the changing light. Done my skincare, breaking out a lot at the moment because I'm about to get my period, so I'm going to keep the skin quite minimal as I can. So let's start with the skin first. The most requested review at the moment is the K Beauty foundations. So I've picked out the shade 130Y and 140p. Now these are medium shades and I picked these two shades because these are the shades I wear in their compact, so I'm hoping one of these will be a good match for me. Packaging looks like this. I'm gonna shake it. I'm gonna test it a little bit first, so let's just take a really small amount. Okay, this is 130Y and I'm just going to test it here. It seems to have quite a yellow undertone, and when I tap it, it kind of disappears on my skin, so that's always a good indication that the shade works for you, because when you blend it, it should just disappear. There shouldn't be a very obvious patch of foundation. I will say this is super blendable. This is the first time I'm trying these, so let's see how much coverage it can give. We have that blemish to test the coverage. I'd say it's a medium coverage. It's not a full coverage, but I really prefer medium coverage. I find like full coverage can be quite heavy looking, and I've got direct sunlight on my face. I can definitely see very clearly whether the shade works for me or not. So 130Y is the perfect match for me, and I wear the same shade in the compact as well. I don't think I want to test the other one because that's a little darker. So I've moved back a little away from the window, so I think this should be better. So you can see the two sides of my face. Bit of cover here, no cover here. Definitely adds a bit of warmth because this is one of the yellow toned foundations. So I'm just going to do the rest of my face. Again, I'm not taking a very large amount. It's very easily blendable, like a few dabs, and it's just disappearing into the skin. I can see myself using this as an everyday foundation. It's lightweight, it's very skin-like finish, no cakiness at all. So I've done a thin layer of this all over. I think I might apply just a tiny bit more around the eyes and a little bit more on the blemish. Okay. I love how this foundation looks on the skin. It's so natural looking, and yet it gives you just a nice even finish without like forming a mask like layer on the skin. Really happy with this. Okay, it's not high coverage, so I will need a little more to brighten my under eyes. So I've got these new concealers from Clinique. This is their Even Better All Over Concealer Plus Eraser. I've got two shades, Golden Neutral and Oat. So Golden Neutral is the lighter shade. I'm going to try this first. So let's place a little bit here. This may be a little light for my skin, so I'm going to go in with the darker one and just kind of add it here, a little bit around the nose, chin, and let's blend it and see how it looks, what the finish is like, and if the shades work. It works. Looks quite nice actually. Yeah, so I think Golden Neutral and Oat, I can use both these shades on my skin. I want to see how much coverage this gives for the blemish. It's pretty good coverage, but I wouldn't call it an eraser. I anyway don't want anything that erases things from my skin. I just want to even things out a little bit. So medium coverage just works well enough for me. I think I'm happy with that. Under eyes look brightened. I don't feel like anything looks too cakey or too heavy. I still have a little bit of a dewy finish, so I'm really happy with both these products. I think I'm gonna try the K-Beauty foundation a couple or more times before I can give like a proper review, but first impressions, I'm really happy. Now let's see what we can do with the eyes. Okay, so I've done my brows off camera. Let's start with the eyes. So I have the eyeshadows from the ColourPop Wild Child collection. You might remember from the unboxing that a lot of these were broken, so I've managed to put them back together somehow. This is the shade Free Rain, and I love the kind of brown with glitter. It's just my favorite thing when it comes to eyeshadows, a brown base with gold glitter. And then I also have this palette. I'm just trying to be very careful with it. I might use some of the mattes from this palette, but I might actually just do a one eyeshadow look. Let's see how this translates on the eye. So with these Super Shock eyeshadows, it's best to use fingers. That's how you can get like the best color payoff on the eyes. Wow, that's really pretty and so pigmented. I think that looks really good by itself. So I'm just going to blend this out, and then we'll see if we need another eyeshadow, if it doesn't look smoothly blended. Then I might have to, you know, add a lighter eyeshadow in the crease. So today is a big day for us as a family. I'm gonna try and move so the sun doesn't hit me like that. I think I'll just have to wait until the sun goes back in the clouds. That's just how the weather is. When the sun comes out, it's never like continuous sunlight. It just keeps dipping in and out of the clouds. So I was saying it's a big day for us as a family today because we are going to see a trainer, meet a trainer for Dora. Dora's training with me since she was a puppy has been very inconsistent because at that time of my life I was caught up with a lot of really traumatic big stuff, so her training has not been very regular, and ever since we've moved here her anxiety has been a bit more amplified. She's always been a very anxious dog, but it's been quite amplified here. So we really want to address that so that she's more comfortable and relaxed and not so anxious all the time. So we are meeting a trainer today, and right after I do this we're gonna go for that. So we're all excited, a little nervous, hoping everything goes well. Okay, so I'm gonna use this in the under eye as well. I'm just going to take a small brush and do that, because if I do it with my finger I'll go too far down. So this works well enough. Whenever you do this, make sure you kind of join the bottom with the top by just going around the eye like that. Okay, probably should have blended faster instead of talking so much, because these eyeshadows tend to set into a smudge proof finish and then it's hard to blend them and soften them. I think for that reason I may need to go in with a lighter color. Yeah, because I think this looks a little bit messy. Yeah, I do think I would like to use a matte eyeshadow just to soften out the edges. So I can either use one of the mattes from here or I can use a bronzer. So I've decided to use this color here to buff out the edges. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of that and just place it around the edges and then just buff it with my brush. You can also sometimes, if you need to, use your fingers. Just give it a good blend. Doesn't seem to be blending that evenly. I think I'm going to use the help of the lighter eyeshadow in this case, which is this one. I'm holding the palette like that because I don't want anything to fall out because the palette is already half broken. So let me try with this lighter color. Yeah, I think that's working better. This palette is great for Indian skin, anyone with medium to tan skin, because every color works. Everything is really warm toned. Even the lightest color shows up really well, doesn't look ashy, grey or whitish. So if you're considering this palette, if you have access to ColourPop, definitely go for it. One of the challenging things with eye makeup is always kind of matching the two eyes, the intensity, the gradation of color, and I'm just trying to kind of do that, get that same gradation on the other side. Okay, I think that looks a lot better, and I'm going to take the matte colors a little bit underneath as well along my lower lash line, just around here. So it's ended up being quite a grungy look. I really like that. I think I'd like to keep the rest of the makeup really simple and subtle so that the eyes just have more focus. I'm just using those matte colors on a small brush, working along the lower edge of the eyeshadow like that. Okay, I think I'm happy with how that looks, but looking at the camera, this side seems a little more intense than this side, so let me go in with the darkest shade, this one. Just make the outer corner on the left a bit more intense to match. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that or I will mess it up. So I'm just going to do mascara now, and I wanted to try the Sugar Lash of the Titans Volumizing Mascara. Now, the first mascara they launched, trying to remember the name, I think it was called Lash Bomb, maybe, I'm not sure. I didn't like it at all because it did absolutely nothing for my lashes. This one I'm hoping will be better. The wand reminds me of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and it seems to have very fine bristles, so let's see. This one actually seems a lot better than their previous mascara. I think I should be able to build up a bit more volume as I do a second coat, but let me just do the bottom first. So I've just done 2 coats and I think it's pretty good, this mascara. Like, my lashes look really long, thickened as well. I think the only downside that I've seen from this first application is that it transfers and smudges quite a bit because the brush is big and it's a very wet formula. But I can clean that up later. Also, this might cause a bit of clumping, you have to be careful, but otherwise I think it's done a really good job, especially of just extending and lengthening my lashes. So I'm happy with how the eyes look, and like I said, it's quite a grungy look. I'm going to keep the lips really soft. I'm just wondering which of these to use. These are from the Sugar Wonder Woman collection. So I've got this color which is called Claiborne. I don't think it's light enough. The other ones are mostly reds, they are darker, and I want something which will be pretty understated. And this one looks like a really kind of bright peach. I think the best thing to do will be to just dab a mix of these two and hope to create a shade which is not too bright. So I'm just going to do like a stain. So because these are matte finishes, it's looking quite matte. But it doesn't look too overpowering. I do think it looks a bit pink than what I would have ideally wanted. But let me see if I can mix another color. I've got these from ColourPop. I'm going to do a bit of mixing with the ColourPop. This is a nude shade, so it will help remove some of that pink. Yeah, I think that is the color I wanted. I wanted like a warm nude. I do this because it removes the excess color and just makes the color look a little more natural. So the only thing left to do now is the cheeks. The Wild Child collection, I've got 2 cheek products. I'm just going to swatch this on the back of my hand and see which one would be a better match. So this one is quite a goldeny bronzer. I think I'm going to try the darker shades and just see how the darker one looks. I don't think I'll be using a highlighter because this seems to have quite a bit of shimmer. So with a color which is a bit dark, the trick is use a big fluffy brush, use a very tiny amount of color, remove some of the excess color on your hand, and then try to buff it in quite a broad area. Yeah, I think this color looks quite nice. I'm trying to show you the finished makeup in the best lighting I can manage. Really happy with how that color turned out. Really happy with the eyes. You can see the complexion looks pretty nice. Really happy with the K-Beauty foundation, and I'm now going to just do my hair and get dressed and show you the final look. So I've just taken my hair out of the turban and I was thinking of heat styling, but I think I'm just gonna leave it like this and let it air dry. So that is the final finished look. I hope you enjoyed this casual chatty get ready with me. Please don't forget to leave me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.